Live from the tank on the campus of the College of Staten Island, CSI Sportsnet welcomes you into coverage of NCAA Division II men's basketball, streaming exclusively on Flow College. Tonight, the College of Staten Island men's basketball team takes a break from conference play for a matchup with Cheyney University of Pennsylvania. Good evening, everybody. My name is Joe Foreman alongside my broadcast partner, Nicholas Pavona, and this is the McDonald's pregame show. McDonald's is our scoreboard sponsor here at the College of Staten Island, and they bring you our pregame coverage ahead of every CSI Dolphins home game. And Nick, Dolphins have won 2 straight games that they've completed, but in a very unusual occurrence, their game at St. Thomas Aquinas College on Saturday was suspended after it was determined that the court had built up too much condensation to continue the game. The score of that game was 5-0 at the time, but this kept the Dolphins at 5-3, winners of back-to-back games, and still unbeaten here at the Tank this season.
Yeah, you really don't see that very often, Joe, with the game being stopped due to condensation. So I believe the date that it's going to be rescheduled is December 10th, so it will be coming up very shortly for this Dolphins team. But looking back to their last match that we saw here at the Tank against Mercy, really strong showing from the Dolphins in that game, Joe. They shot 45% from the field, 33% from the three-point line. And look at what they did in that game entirely. 38 points in the paint, 24 points coming off of the bench. We saw what Andrew Benedict, of course, did off the bench in that game. But the big number that really stood out to me in that game, Joe, the Dolphins out-rebounded the Mavericks 53-33 on the glass. Really strong performance for them on the glass. And they're facing a team tonight that has been struggling this season in terms of rebounding numbers. 4 different Dolphins as well in double figures scoring. So a really strong performance to start conference play for CSI.
You have to like that effort for the Dolphins the last time out, and they come into the night about to face a Wolves team for the first time in program history. And for Cheyney, they're playing the second half of a back-to-back after facing Lincoln University of Pennsylvania yesterday. Lions won that game by 8 in a game that saw the lead change hands 19 times. And first of all, it's always challenging to play the second half of a back-to-back against a team as well-rested as CSI is right now. But there are certainly some areas where the Wolves can look to improve following the loss last night.
And that loss to Lincoln last night, you mentioned the amount of times the lead did change in that game. 85-77, Lincoln came out on top in that game. And as I mentioned before, Cheyney has had some troubles this year in the rebounding numbers. Last night they were out-rebounded 44-33 on the glass. And on the year, they're being out-rebounded by opponents by 6 rebounds per game. So that's been definitely a cause for concern for this Wolves team. Coming against a Dolphins team that, as we just talked about before, out-rebounded their last opponent by 20 rebounds in that game. So that's been a problem for the Wolves this season. And another problem for them this year, Joe, has been their three-point shooting. On the year, they're shooting just 27.4% from the three-point line. And in last night's loss, they were 6 of 21 from the three-point line. So those 2 areas are definitely cause for concerns if you are a Wolves fan. They're looking to see if maybe they could, sneak away and maybe make some more shots from the perimeter while also trying to somehow out-rebound this Dolphins team. And another problem before we go into our next talking point, their defense has also been up and down this season. They're currently allowing 87.8 points per game to opposing teams. The one number that they do have going into advantage of tonight's game, just 96 turnovers on the season. The Dolphins, on the other hand, have 119. So a lot of turnovers that Cheyney has forced, but they've also given up a lot of turnovers. Dolphins need to fix their turnover numbers in this game and try to avoid that to give Cheyney an opportunity for a potential upset.
And we mentioned how impressed we have been with the Dolphins through the first 3 weeks of the season. Ahead of the last game we covered against Mercy on Wednesday, a game that you talked quite a bit about in our open. And you get the sense that if this team is going to be a serious contender for a conference championship and an NCAA tournament bid, that this is a game that they will need to win here tonight. How can the Dolphins make sure to avoid a letdown on their home floor against a team that was involved in a very hard-fought game just last night?
I think it goes without saying, you got to make your shots, because this Dolphins team is one team that I don't want to say live and die by the three, but the Dolphins make a lot of big shots on the outside. That last game against Mercy, they took took advantage of getting inside of the paint. So they're not a one-dimensional team. They could do it on either side, whether it's shooting from the outside or going inside to try to get some points on the glass. I think for CSI, you got to try to keep doing what you've been doing best, shooting the ball at a very high rate this season, and try to not allow your opponent to make some big open shots towards the end. Because we've seen games, in the Division I level, the Division II level, the Division III level. You give these teams opportunities where right now things aren't looking good for them to start the season, but if you aren't able to make your shots to start the game, that will allow your opponent's side to get off to a quick, hot start, and it could be a start where if CSI gets down to a certain amount of number, it could be a number that might be unattainable for them to come back from. So for the Dolphins to avoid that upset, they've got to start out very hot, very quick in this game, start out hot and early, and not allow the Wolves to have that opportunity to start hot. Otherwise, Cheyney's going to have a great chance to pull off the win tonight.
Well, we've seen the Dolphins get off to a lot of strong starts this season, and as you said, Nick, I think that would be a big key for them to avoid that potential upset here tonight. Now, we're going to get a look back at the game against Mercy in just a few minutes. That was our last broadcast here on Sportsnet. But when you dive a bit deeper into that game, beyond the final box score, you see an effort that this Dolphins team, the coaching staff had to be very proud of. Players all over the floor diving after loose balls, 2 of your guards wreaking havoc on the offensive glass, and a game that saw every Dolphin that attempted a shot score at least a couple of points. The talent, depth, and all-around effort of this team was on full display in the win over the Mavericks. And you have to think that if they can maintain that through the end of the regular season, the immediate future is bright for this Dolphins team.
Yeah, no question about it, Joe. That's what this team was trying to do. You saw last season, it was an up-and-down year for the Dolphins. But looking at what this team has done so far to start the season, you look at what they've done on both sides. The defense has really been a big talking point for this team throughout the majority of their 8 games. Their offense has put up some really strong numbers this season. And look back to that last game. You mentioned it, the amount of different scorers that they had scoring that game. You look at Goldstein, 21 points, 7 of 11 from the field, 2 of 4 from the three-point line. J.J. Chestnut added another 21 points as well. He was 8 of 9 in that game, including 3 of 4 from downtown. Eric Tynes with 12 points. Asa Kone with 8 points and 11 rebounds. And we talked with Andrew Bennett at the end of that game. He was our TLC physical therapy player of the game. 10 points, 14 rebounds, 6 of those on the offensive side. And that's where I think this team is so dangerous, because it's not just a, starter mentality where you have to rely on your starters to get the majority of your points. You're seeing great contributions up and down that entirety of the team. And that's what they need. If they're going to make a run, not only in the ECC tournament, but maybe have a chance to get a potential NCAA tournament bid, they're going to need every player from top to bottom to make contributions as the season goes on. You've already got a good start in conference play, getting the win. Now you go out of conference play here tonight. Got to avoid having that little bit of a slip-up before you go back into conference play. Cheyney realistically has nothing to lose in this game. For the Dolphins, they can't afford a slip-up before they recontinue conference play the rest of the season.
When we come back after a brief 60-second break, we will take a look back at some highlights from our last broadcast as the Dolphins faced the Mercy University Mavericks in their conference opener. Then we meet tonight's starters ahead of opening tip-off between the Dolphins and the Wolves. More to come from the McDonald's pregame show when we come back.
Campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Joe Foreman back with you alongside Nicholas Bavona as we welcome you back into the McDonald's pregame show. And Nick, before the break, we promised to look back at our most recent broadcast when the Dolphins faced the Mavericks in their conference opener.
Yeah, it was a great conference opener for the Dolphins in that game, Joe, and we'll get things started with our first rebound play of the game. Great job off the bat for Kone.
Kone with the strong move. Goldstein from the outside. Step back three. The Dolphins scoring it in the paint and from beyond the arc.
And you see right there a little bit of a loose ball. Rebound for Joey Poulin. He finds it up the court. Sees Tynes right there. Tynes will take his time. He gives it up to J.J. Chestnut. And something we've seen familiar from this J.J. Chestnut player, Joe. Floaters are always key for him.
Dexterity, both with the left and the right. But how about this footwork from Aaron Goldstein? Gets so much praise for his outside shooting. That's a great move.
And how about this play right here? You see Joey Poulin gain the offensive rebound. Andrew Benedict, after missing the free throw, knocks down the three.
Well, it didn't take long for Benedict to return the favor. Just about a minute and a half later, Poulin misses. Benedict helps tip it. It finds Poulin for the lay-in.
My favorite play of the game right there by Benedict right there, Joe. And how about this one? Tough bank shot by Chestnut.
Dolphins will take it however they can get it. Once again, scoring inside and out. This time, it's scoring from outside. Aaron Goldstein with an AG3.
And AG was doing it all for the Dolphins in this game. How about this tough finish off the glass on that floater?
Just seems like all the threes are landing with me, Nick. J.J. Chestnut this time from way downtown gets the friendly roll off the front rim and in.
Well, I'll take a little bit of a breather for you, Joe, for the three-point line, because how about Andrew Benedict, corner three off of that outlook pass from Goldstein.
Not a man you can leave open. Long outlet here. Chestnut working around the double team, and Tynes off glass and in.
And I promise you, I take a little bit off of your plate from the three-point line. Eric Tynes knocks down the ET3.
Well, I'm still hungry, Nick. Another three coming up for Tynes momentarily off of this miss. The Dolphins get out in transition. Tynes, the beneficiary, as he settles on the left wing, left all alone, knocks down the three.
Great shot by Tynes in this game, made a couple of those. And how about Aaron Goldstein with the spin move, layup, beautiful finish from AG.
Got the much bigger defender on the island. What an impressive move. This time he finds Mitchell Wiggin, and Wiggin weaves his way through some traffic.
How about this play right here by Joey Poulin? He will hang and hit this shot. Tough shot. Some might say a circus shot on that one.
One might say so, and Andrew Benedict adds one of his own. That one a bit less contact involved, but the floater goes down.
Miss right here from Chestnut. You see Benedict getting one of those 6 offensive rebounds we talked about earlier. J.J. Chestnut on the drive will go back out to the three-point line, and then, Joe, he'll make that move off the screen. He's going to look back out to the three, then gets the ball right back, and then he'll eventually get the ball again, Joe, and hit a fall-away jumper.
Well, that sequence just shows that it was CSI's night. That was a broken possession. They find a way to score. This time, Chestnut finds a cutting Mitchell Wiggin. He's able to put it up and in. And how about one more from Aaron Goldstein to wrap things up?
Aaron Goldstein not only sure from the outside, but using his body to get a lot of those shots. Another circus shot on the tough finish.
And with that, we step aside to break for the national anthem. Right on time. We're minutes away from tip-off between the College of Staten Island and Cheyney University. When we come back, we meet the starters and get underway from the College of Staten Island.
No, I'm right. The podcast that uncovers the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Nick Durst here along with Joe Calabrese.
Here we are, 200 episodes later, about 150 episodes with guests, our friends, soon to be your friends.
Well, it's pretty clear, Joe, that it's all about You Know I'm Right, the podcast. That's my You Know I'm Right moment. Wanted to do a podcast, and everyone was like, what are you, crazy? Who's going to listen? You're not going to get guests. Well, guess what? I'm the best when it comes to getting guests. You could vouch for that.
I am so happy that you asked me to do this. I couldn't have been more thrilled. And follow us on socials, check us out. I promise you, if you want to work in media, whether you work in media now, whether you want to quit your job and work in media, come to us, and I promise you, we will get you on the right foot.
That's what it's all about, uncovering the origin stories of some of the biggest names in sports, media, and entertainment. Keep it locked on You Know I'm Right.
And we are back from the tank. Joe Foreman rejoining you alongside Nicholas Bavona as starters are being introduced out on the floor ahead of tonight's matchup between the College of Staten Island Dolphins and the Cheyney University Wolves. With starters being introduced, Nick, you share those starting lineups.
Starting lineup for the Wolves: 0, Joshua Blackman. Number 2, S.J. Hutchinson. Number 7, Eden Smith. Number 20, Clyde Frazier. That's a familiar name we've heard before. And number 24, D'Angelo Lake. For the Dolphins starting lineup tonight, number 3, J.J. Chestnut. Number 10, Asa Kone. Number 21, Aaron Goldstein. Number 32, Eric Tynes. Again, to start tonight. Number 35, Mitchell Wiggin.
Those are the starting lineups for the Dolphins and Wolves, and this has been the McDonald's pregame show. Once again, McDonald's, our scoreboard sponsor here at CSI. They bring you our pregame coverage ahead of every Dolphins home game. And Nick, we talked a lot about the Dolphins as we got to look back at the highlights from their game against Mercy. Plenty to like from the Dolphins' effort against the Mavericks last week. And the Wolves will be tasked with trying to match that in the second half of a back-to-back here tonight. Who are some of the players on the Cheyney side to watch tonight as they look to become the first team to knock off the Dolphins here at home this season?
Well, the biggest two players to look out for in this game, Joe, are S.J. Hutchinson and Joshua Blackman. Hutchinson on the year, averaging 11.8 points per game, 5.5 rebounds per game, shooting just a little bit under 43% from the field this season. In the game last night against Lincoln, 17 points, 4 rebounds. He was 2 of 4 from the 3, 4 of 9 overall in that game. And then Joshua Blackman on the year, 13.3 points per game on the season, 44.8% from the field, 34.6 from the three-point line. Last night, 13 and 4 against the Lions in that matchup. So those are two of the big players that you have to watch out if you're the Dolphins in terms of scoring. You see contributions as well from D'Angelo Lake, Clyde Frazier, and Eden Smith last night. So we'll see, Joe, the adversity this team is going to have tonight, because as you and I both know, it is never easy to play a back-and-back, whether it's baseball, soccer, football, basketball. It's never easy to play a back-and-back, and for this Wolves team, they're going to have to be you're going to have to try to do everything they possibly can to face a Dolphins team that is just a little bit well-rested right now going into this game tonight.
Well, Nick, in a bit of odd scheduling, the Dolphins had their conference opener on December 3rd. They then had the game scheduled with Stack on Saturday, December 6th. They have only one conference game between the makeup of Saturday's suspended game and I believe it is January 9th, just one conference game between the game coming up on Wednesday and next year. That is at UDC. And I also thought of something. What are you doing on Wednesday night?
I'm not sure at the moment.
Well, if you'd like to spend the night in Spark Hill and cover the Dolphins, I'm going to head up and cover that game, audio only. Haven't been to the Stack Gymnasium yet. I've been to the soccer field, so I'm going to take the trip up there on Wednesday night. If you're interested in joining, you're more than welcome. But I will be at UDC as well. I'll be in D.C. for John Cena's final match over the weekend. The Dolphins are there as well. Works out perfectly. However, before that makeup game on Wednesday and the game at UDC this weekend, we have a big one here at the Tank tonight. And we said it, Nick. This is a game where if the Dolphins are going to be a serious contender in the conference and for an NCAA tournament bid, this is a game you have to have on your home floor.
Yeah, these are the games that, we see a lot of times where it's one of those you can look ahead spots. You don't want to look ahead towards your next game afterwards, whether it's conference play or not, or even if you're facing a conference opponent, it's a big-time opponent. You want to get these games in, and you want to get the victory. So the Dolphins can't afford to slip up here tonight.
Feed to Kone and a quick two. And Nick, that looks an awfully lot like the play that opened up the last game for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and we saw early in that game, Joe, how many times they went to Kone inside of the paint, and they go quickly to him to start this game.
Quick start for the Dolphins as Kone opens the scoring. Lake backing in, goes up on Tynes and puts it in.
That's a tough bucket by Lake right there. And he had a nice game last night against the Lions, trying to duplicate that here tonight.
Lake going to be a handful inside. A big body in the low post as jump ball was called there. Tynes had that attempt stifled. Possession arrow favors the Wolves.
We'll get a second look at that last bucket by Kone. Nice feed inside by Chestnut on the bounce pass.
I think as a commentator now, we're going to have our eye on that look to open games. We've seen that more than once from the Dolphins early. Wolves work it around the outside. Hutchinson on the pull-up. And that's an air ball.
And we mentioned as well, Mitchell Wiggin now in the starting five for the Dolphins here tonight. Gets a great opportunity because we've seen some great flashes from him this season, Joe, coming off of the bench. Now gets to showcase his abilities in this game.
Wiggin inside, lays it in. He's quickly on the board.
Right on cue. Right on cue. Wiggin with a nice move inside the basket gets the lay-in.
The reason that Mitchell Wiggin is in the starting lineup tonight is that Joey Poulin is not with the team. We did not receive any more information than that. If that's something that head coach TJ Tibbs wants to share, we'll be sure to let him do that at halftime. But the assistant coaches are wearing Poulin's number 1 jersey on the bench. So we'll ask Coach Tibbs about that if that's something he can share. As Tynes knocks down a transition three-pointer.
It's another ET3 for Tynes as he's been starting to heat up these last couple games from the outside mark.
Well, he's a shooter that you can't afford to leave open. Hasn't necessarily hunted shots, but when he's had opportunities and has been left open, he's made the most of them.
And we talked about last game, he hasn't had a lot of big numbers in terms of scoring this season, but the shots are still going up for him. He's trying to be knocking them down in the last couple games, and he's already 2 for 2 from the outside to start this game.
What was I saying about not hunting shots, Nick? Tynes comes in shooting 32% from downtown on 41 three-point attempts. Those 41 tries from beyond the arc, second to only Aaron Goldstein with 54. As that last make does prompt a Cheyney timeout. 17:42 to go in this first half as you get a look at the second of 2 ET3s. We head to break with the Dolphins in front, 10-2. Joe Foreman and Nicholas Bavona back with you from the tank where the Dolphins are off to a very strong start. Nick, that was one of your keys to the game.
Yeah, we've seen these Dolphins teams so far this year, Joe. They've been, as you mentioned earlier, they've been going off to quick starts to start the year. Can't ask for a better start with this game so far.
And that shot by Hutchinson rolled off, but Lake was right there to put it back up and in as the Dolphins are going to face some pressure here from the Wolves. Goldstein thought about a deep 3. Tynes does not hesitate, and he's 3 for 3 from downtown.
Well, he shot that one from downtown, and he wasn't going to hesitate. That was one of those heat check moments right there by Tynes.
Well, I mentioned the 41 three-pointers attempted by Tynes coming in. Only 18 of his field goal attempts this year have been from inside of the arc. As that shot won't go for Hutchinson, Tynes has a rebound.
You think they get the ball right back to him if they have a chance?
How about that ball movement in transition, but Wiggin, who thought he was fouled, could not finish with the left. Tough shot, and Hutchinson gets the roll.
Yeah, tough bucket right there by Hutchinson.
Alley-oop, and Kone on the receiving end throws it down.
Picture-perfect pass, picture-perfect finish right there as Kone gets the nice play by Wiggin.
Wiggin to Kone for the emphatic alley-oop jam. Kick out to Lake. He's left open for 3.
How about this start to the game for D'Angelo Lake? He knocks down the 3. He's quickly got a couple big points in this game already. He's got 7, I believe.
That is correct, and he was hitting those in warm-ups, Nick, as Kone is left open, good patience, and an easy 2.
And that's what you love to see, Joe, because immediately gets the pass, knew that was going to be a potential block from behind. He hesitated, as you mentioned, waited, and got a nice layup on that play.
Dolphins lead at 17-9. CSI lighting up the scoreboard early as Lake is off from 3 that time.
And I talked about the numbers for this Cheyney team, Joe. They've been struggling defensively on the season, and early on you see it.
Nice feed to Kone, and he draws the foul.
And we're going to have to get a look at that big-time alley-oop play in just a moment. Wiggin to Kone, beautiful finish.
Wiggin always a threat to attack. That time he dishes to Kone. With that, we head to break. The Dolphins leading by 8. Our score with 15:32 to go in the first half. Staten Island 17 and Cheyney 9. Asa Kone to the line for CSI. As we come out of our first media timeout in this first half, with the Dolphins leading by 8. Kone already with 6 points on 3 of 3. Eric Tynes with 9 points on 3 of 3, all from beyond the arc.
No, you're certainly happy that they're both 3 for 3.
It's kind of my thing. Kone's free throw is good. Brandon Torres and Andrew Benedict check in for CSI. Wigan and Chestnut to the bench.
It'll be very tough to top what Benedict did the last game, Joe, but we'll like to make an early impact just about 5 minutes into this game.
Amari Curtis in for Joshua Blackman as well. And Kone's second free throw off back iron, rebounded by Lake. Frazier was directing traffic. This is Hutchinson using the Lake screen. He kicks it back outside. Lake at Kone, banks it in.
That is not an easy basket right there by Lake. Having to fight against Kone on that play. It made a tough move to get that bucket. He's been having a great start to this game.
Once Lake gets moving downhill, if he can stay under control, he's a tough cover. And speaking of tough covers, how do you stop that?
I mean, you just can't. He's just on fire to start this game. Another ET3.
Well, the game has really evolved to become a lot more of that today, with players having infinite range. Will Tynes try the heat check here?
He's gotta.
Yeah, no doubt. And he
foul.
nearly had an opportunity for a 4-point play.
And you saw it, Joe. He started clapping after the foul happened. He knew he could have had that one.
We haven't spoken to Eric post-game yet. He's certainly making a bid. How about this start?
I mean, just look at the shot from where he took it. Another one, and he had a defender in his face. Another tough shot, and he knocks it through, and he'll go to the free throw line for 3 free throws.
And the first is good. And he's now 2 for 2 from the strike.
Checking in for Cheyney, number 5, Emmanuel Carson.
Emmanuel Carson in for the Wolves here. And Tynes gets the roll on that one.
Not traditional 3 points for Tynes right there, but knocks down all 3 of the free throws.
On the drive, Hutchinson had nowhere to go, but he was fouled.
Foul on number 15, Brandon Torres.
Brandon Torres picks up the personal.
First of the first half.
18 to shoot for Cheyney. Curtis kicks out. This is Hutchinson. Going right at Torres, floats it over Kone and can't hit.
Offense that they run it quick and have numbers.
Benedict finds Tynes. Off the fake, Tynes hands off to Goldstein for a deep three. It rolls off, and the rebound's pulled in by Hutchinson, who looks to push. Curtis throws one up, a bit too long. Rebound Benedict. Torres left open, gets by Lake, and could not get it to Kone. DJ Tibbs wanted Torres to go up with that one.
Yeah, I like the initial pump fake on that three-point line, but I see what he was going for there. You saw Kone underneath the rim, but did have an opportunity of a layup right there.
Joshua Blackman back out there for the Wolves. He replaces S.J. Hutchinson.
We, of course, had a nice conversation with TJ at the after party, if you want to say that. term of words, at Buffalo Wild Wings after.
Yeah, we should clarify. We visited one of our great sponsors, Buffalo Wild Wings, after our last game.
I visited a couple of our sponsors this last week.
Very good.
Buffalo Wild Wings and Jimmy Mac's.
Love to hear it. So much great food.
Yes.
Torres on the pull-up. No good. Offensive rebound and putback for Benedict.
Something that we saw last game, Joe. He comes down with the offensive rebound, and this time he gets that putback. He has just really been impressive these last couple games on both sides for the Dolphins.
And an offensive foul was called.
Offensive foul. Number 24.
And you'll see it right here. Look how high he's going to get on this play to get the rebound. It's just really good that he's able to do that, and then he gets the immediate follow back. That's what's been really great about him so far. His athleticism has been really, really eye-opening.
He's really done it all for this Dolphins team the last couple of games. Tynes, in and out.
Benedict got another offensive rebound.
He earned them another possession with that effort.
CSI basketball.
Chestnut will inbound from the baseline. Always have to watch the alley-oop from here. Kone for Torres. Chestnut defended by Blackman. Able to get it to Torres in the corner. Now Chestnut for three. Off the back rim and out. And Lake pulls in the rebound.
Cheyney, meanwhile, is struggling to score these last couple of minutes. They could really use a bucket right here.
Carson on the fadeaway, and it rattles in.
How about that shot right there by Emmanuel Carson? The floater fadeaway jumper, if you want to call it, on that one. Not an easy bucket with Benedict on him.
Chestnut for Tynes for three. Splash.
I think Tynes wants to play in the three-point contest, Joe. This has been an incredible start to this game.
He has been as close to automatic as it gets from downtown. He's now 5 for 6 from beyond the arc. Finger roll good for Amari Curtis.
Nice finger roll touch by Curtis on that finish after getting the initial screen. A nice answer back for the Wolves.
Tynes, splash.
Oh my goodness. Eric Tynes, I think, is he outscoring right now the Wolves?
Well, Nick, I mentioned he hasn't been hunting shots. Hasn't really needed to tonight. Every time he's caught it, he's looked to shoot.
He is hunting down the Wolves with the amount of shots he's making right now.
He is now 6 of 7 from downtown. He has 21 points less than halfway through the first half.
And again, look at the shot he's going to take right here. Gets the screen. The defender right there, he does not care. He's still going to shoot. And he is not missing, as you mentioned. He's been nothing short of automatic to start this game.
Tremendous start for Eric Tynes and the Dolphins. They lead it by 17. Our score, Staten Island 32, Cheyney 15, 11:19 to go in the first half. 11:19 to go in the first half, and Eric Tynes with 21 points has helped the Dolphins to a 17-point lead. You said it, Nick. He's outscored the Wolves by himself to this point.
He's outscored them by 6 points entirely. I mean, it's been incredible what he's done so far, and he remains in the game.
And they're looking to get him open here as he's fouled again. Wow.
And I think what he did the perfect job right there, Joe, because he was able to force that foul on the play. He knew he was going to shoot immediately the way he's been doing so far, and he'll have a chance to go 3 for 3 once again.
Number 32, Eric Tynes.
Well, the Wolves searching for an answer right now to slowing down Tynes.
It's going to start getting to the point where you might have to double team him just to avoid him scoring at this point.
I think if you reach the point where you have to double team a player who's shot almost exclusively from downtown, already down nearly 20 points, it's going to be really tough to make up that deficit.
And we talked about as well, having to play the back-to-back and having this happen early on in this game, it's not been an easy start to this game for the Wolves.
Well, on the other side of that coin, you could say, if you're a fan of Cheyney, that this can't possibly continue for another close to 31 minutes. Open three in the corner, passed up by Curtis, and the pull-up is off the mark, but a foul occurred underneath, and we will stay at this end of the floor.
See the number of foul that it was on. I think it was on Chestnut.
Foul number 3, J.J. Chestnut.
That was indeed the case.
In the Dolphins' second of the first half.
Off the inbound up top, this is Blackman. Spin jumper, air ball.
A tough defensive possession right there by CSI, giving Blackman no room.
Chestnut finds Elijah Darby, and he can't finish.
That's a great move by Chestnut there, Joe. Just a really strong defensive play at the end right there for the Wolves.
And Blackman can't hit the open three. Rebound, Benedict. Benedict for Darby, and he converts on the easy two.
How about that by Benedict? He was heavily pressured going up the court, was able to still hold on to the ball and find Darby on that bounce pass.
Dolphins in front by 22. This game in danger of getting away from the Wolves here as a foul is called. Eaton Smith will head to the line.
Look at that play by Benedict, finding Darby underneath for that lay-in. And we talked about the last game, Joe. The Dolphins did a great job inside of the paint in terms of exposing that Mavericks defense, and they're doing a great job to start this game against the Wolves.
A stat that caught my eye. We didn't touch on it during the pregame, but so far this year, Dolphins have held their opponents to under 40% shooting.
Checking in for Cheyney, number 20, Clyde Frazier, number 24, D'Angelo.
Yeah, when you talk to TJ Tibbs and the rest of the staff, of course you want to improve your offensive numbers at any potential opportunity you have, but they always strive on defense. Every time you hear it from, the cliche, defense wins championships. And this team is trying to do that with the way they've been playing so far. The first 8, now 9 games of this season, their defense has been really impressive so far.
No question about it is Lake ended up on the floor. Chestnut nearly lost the ball. It's still loose, finally brought in by Hutchinson. He was fouled, and we'll head to the line. And the Dolphins coaching staff did not like that last sequence.
Yeah. As I mentioned, a little bit of a game of hot potato on that play towards half court. And it's going to award another couple of free throws right here for the Wolves, as going to the line will be Hutchinson.
Well, that's the kind of effort that the Wolves will need to get back in this game. And as I said before, you have to believe, if you're Cheyney, that Tynes can't possibly continue to shoot as he has. And with him being on the bench right now, I think you're looking to take advantage, and part of that is to force some turnovers.
And that's been the one number, I think, Joe. If you ask the Dolphins what they still want to fix this season, it's been their turnover numbers. So that's still something they're trying to figure out. But that's a bad one right there that they gave up, and it allows another point for Cheyney.
Foul called here, and you certainly don't want to put yourself in a position where you can get into the penalty and allow the Dolphins to score points from the line.
Yeah, one foul away from Dolphins getting into the bonus.
There's still over 9.5 minutes to go in this first half. Chestnut for Darby up top. He will hand off to Benedict for three. That one rattles out, and the rebound was pulled in by Hutchinson. Here he comes. Kick out into the corner, and Blackman knocks down a three.
Tough shot by Blackman, falling down at the end after a nice defensive play. And as I mentioned, Blackman's one of their top scorers on this team. Big shot by him.
Leighton Woods left open. He's short from the corner. Once again, the Wolves look to push, and they score in transition. Clyde Frazier with the lay-in.
Oh, we've seen that. Well, maybe not. We've seen that, but we've seen some highlight film of another Clyde Frazier doing a move like that.
Yeah, we were very much not alive when Walt Clyde Frazier was playing in the NBA. Benedict with the left, high off glass, won't go. And now all of a sudden, momentum with Cheyney here. And a foul was called. Count the basket and one.
Another tough basket. And yeah, you mentioned it, Joe, now. A little bit of a run starting to build for the Wolves. They get an and one coming up right here. How about this type of a circus shot off the back of Blackman?
It has been a nice stretch for Cheyney University as they try and work their way back into this thing. And these last couple of minutes have gone their way entirely. It's now a 10-0 run for the Wolves.
Dolphins bringing back in Aaron Goldstein to try to see if they can keep this run from, or try, I should say, prevent this run from either going further.
Another missed free throw by the Wolves will keep it a 12-point game. Cheyney 3 of 5 from the line now. Chestnut for an open Wiggin. And a foul is called underneath.
Meanwhile, Joe, we talked about the fouls for Cheyney a couple minutes ago. Now the Dolphins have 6 fouls.
Well, if there's a way to let the Wolves back into the game even more quickly than they've gotten into it these last couple of minutes, it's free throws. Three-pointer. No good by Blackman. And it will be Dolphins ball.
You know, Blackman wanted that one back, starting to heat up a little bit from the court. Could have made it a single-digit game with that last three.
Dolphins with it, still leading by 12, just over 8 minutes to go in the first half. Aaron Goldstein has attempted just one shot thus far as Chestnut's lay-in won't go. Darby off the offensive board finds Woods. JJ in the corner now. It rolls off, and Lake has the rebound.
Yeah, Dolphins getting really cold now from the scoring mark so far in these last couple of minutes.
Another three-pointer on the way, in and out. We have not seen many stretches where the Dolphins have gone ice cold from the field. This is Wiggin on the pull-up, and he knocks it down.
You get the sense the Dolphins really needed that one, Joe. Big shot by Wiggin. Ends their scoring drought, ends the run by the Wolves, puts them back up 14.
Pressure there by Wiggin almost resulted in a steal. Goldstein all over Hutchinson. He'll try a three. Short. And that was last touched by Hutchinson. Inside of 8 minutes, we head to another media timeout. 7:05 to go, first half. Staten Island over Cheyney, 39-25. 7:05 to go in the first half, with the Dolphins leading the Wolves 39-25. Joe Foreman on the call alongside Nicholas Pavona from the College of Staten Island. And for CSI, Jace Martabano checks into the game for the first time tonight. This is Mitchell Wiggin inside, count the basket and the foul.
Well, we saw the Wolves make a little bit of a run, Joe, before that last media timeout. And how about Wiggin immediately right after the media timeout happens, using the body, it gets the M1.
There's one more look at that last move by Wiggin, and something we've seen from him. He is aggressive attacking the rim, but he's also very patient around the basket. Able to use his body to shield off defenders and takes his time going up until he sees the opening. He completes the three-point play at the line, and just like that, the Dolphins are back up by 17.
They'll be in the bonus for the remainder of this half.
Dolphins have scored the last 5. Lake nearly threw it away. Hutchinson trapped. Kicks out to Blackman. Blackman knocks it down.
Yeah, Blackman's been making some really tough shots these last couple of minutes. He's single-handedly bringing Cheyney back into this game.
And Wiggin has 2 more. I don't think the Wolves are ready for him that time, Nick.
Yeah, they certainly lost him in translation right there, Joe. Immediately right after the make, the Dolphins went quickly up the court with that tempo.
Well, you love to see that if you're the Dolphins, as we'll get one more look at that finish by Wiggin. Down at the other end was Frazier. And if you're the CSI coaching staff, you have to feel really good about what you've seen from Wiggin early in this season. Was given a lot of opportunity last year, but he really is, I'd say, the bona fide 6th man, or at least your first scorer off the bench for sure. I don't think any bench player has gotten more shots than him. Benedict's been really good as well, but hasn't looked to shoot it quite as much yet. That certainly could change, but Wiggins done a really good job as that first scorer off the bench, and tonight he got the opportunity to start.
Yeah, I mean, you always see in the NBA, you know, they give the awards out for most improved players, and you got to make the case that Wiggins has certainly been one of the most improved players, not only on this Dolphins team, of course, but the entire ECC as well.
And I think part of the reason this Dolphins team is off to the start that they've gotten off to this year, it's just a 5-3 record, but don't let that deceive you. They played 2 nationally acclaimed programs back-to-back and pushed pace to the limit. Yeah, they pushed pace to the limit as well, but I think a big reason why they've had early season success is that the players that they needed to take a step forward have done that this year. That includes Goldstein, that includes Wiggin, that includes Kone. And Poulin, though not active tonight, continues to do the things we saw him do very well last year. Kone lost the grip on it, and that's Dolphins' turnover. Here come the Wolves. And Young dropped it off to Frazier, who was fouled.
At least a good job right there by Martabano, Joe, at least getting back and forcing free throws upcoming.
5:38 to go in the first half, with the Dolphins leading by 15. And I think if you're CSI, Nick, you're looking to enter halftime leading by 15 or more. For much of this half, Dolphins had a sizable lead. At one point, that lead pushed 20 points. And the Wolves now have missed 3 of their 8 free throws.
And we'll see Eric Tynes come back in. And the Dolphins, a little bit of their production really started to decline once Tynes came out. So let's see if Tynes can get to that number that you just mentioned before.
Largest lead for the Dolphins was actually 22 points. They led at 37-15. But to the point I made earlier, Nick, when Tynes came off the floor, Cheyney immediately capitalized. Goldstein, step back 3. Off the front rim, Kone with the board. And he's fouled. And you said it earlier, Nick. The Wolves have had some trouble on the glass, and with Lake on the bench, Kone immediately grabs an offensive board.
Yeah, that was an aggressive rebound by Kone. He had to go against 2 defenders on that play just to grab it. And he'll go once again to the free throw line.
Foul number 22, Gabriel Altimus. That'll be his 2nd and Cheyney's 8th.
Gabriel Altimus picks up the personal.
For the Dolphins, number 10, Asa Kone.
Kone to the line. Free throw by Kone is good. Well, there's not much that our shot clock operator tonight, Stephanie Smallridge, doesn't do. But I found something else to add to the list of her responsibilities. She went and took it upon herself to dig through the record books and find the single game record for made three-pointers at the D2 level.
Oh, wow.
That record is 8 by Bryce Waterman.
And I believe Tynes is 6, if I'm not mistaken.
He has 6. Corner 3 on the way, and that is well short on the attempt by Smith. Here comes Goldstein. Flips it back. Tynes for 3. Short. And Wiggin has the putback slam.
Put that one on the highlight reel by Wiggin.
Wiggin was the benefactor earlier on the alley-oop pass. This time the beneficiary on the putback slam. And now he has an emphatic rejection.
All-out play by Wiggin, but an immediate turnover for CSI.
Wiggin wanted to block one more as Martabano commits the foul.
We might be able to get both of the plays in one highlight. Let's start off first with that putback dunk. Off the Tynes miss. Look how he just found a nice spot underneath the rim, gets the immediate dunk. And then you'll see on the other end, he'll get the block in just a few short moments.
Well, taking a look out there very quickly for the Wolves, it looks like Wiggin is at least as big, if not bigger, than every player out there. Wiggin on the Dolphins roster is listed as a guard. And for CSI right now, he's the third tallest player on the floor. And unsurprisingly, Nick, Lake will check back in here.
Yeah, and remember what Wiggin did last game, too. He had a couple of blocks in that game against the Mavericks as well.
I don't think anybody doubts Mitchell Wiggins' leaping ability. On a night where everything else could be going wrong, we know he can still leap up there with the best of them. And that athleticism buys you some rebounds. It buys you some second chances, some blocks. There's a lot of things you can do just purely based off your own athleticism. As Kone had it stripped away, here comes Blackman, and he's able to lay it in around Tynes.
And again, that's been one of the only things that have really been wrong with the Dolphins in this first half, Joe, is their turnover numbers. Leads to a quick 2 right there for Blackman.
Goldstein finds Wiggin. And he rattles in a 3.
Wiggin now starting to heat up. And a nice pass by Goldstein to the outside to find Wiggin for the corner 3.
Wiggin has that line drive trajectory on his shot. Lake, given room, thought about the jumper, goes at Kone and does not get the roll with the left.
A friendly roll right there.
Martabano for Tynes, gets it back. Goldstein open. No good. Fight for the rebound, and Wiggins got it. And the Dolphins somehow kept it for a moment, but now the Wolves have it in transition. Blackman fumbled it and puts it in.
Blackman has been so impressive, but meanwhile, Joe, Asa Kone right now currently on the ground.
I didn't see what happened on the play, but Kone is down. And
you remember when after that loose ball, Joe, if you remember when after the initial rebound and then he was trying to get the ball on the court, but might have collided. I'm not sure exactly what happened on the play, but hopefully he's okay.
They are looking at his right leg right now, and as they attend to Asa Kone, we will step aside and throw it to break. 3:28 to go in the first half. The Dolphins lead it 50-36. And we are back from the tank where Asa Kone was able to walk off under his own power. And Nick, you got to look at the replay very quickly. It appears that he bumped knees with one of the Wolves out there. And I've had that happen before. And for a few brief moments, maybe even a bit longer, it feels like you just have no stability and no support from that leg. But Fortunately, that's an injury that typically subsides with some time. So hopefully Kone is able to get back in there. It depends on exactly where he was hit. We won't speculate any further than that.
Yeah, it might have been a kneecap situation, but we'll see what happens exactly.
And Darby is tied up. He'll head to the line.
And I think they might have given that jump ball, Joe, and they did. A nice defensive play underneath to force that jump ball. As the Dolphins now will call a timeout.
And with that, head to another break. 3:15 to go, first half. Dolphins lead by 14. Dolphins will keep it off of a jump ball call. We thought initially Darby had been fouled, or at least I did, Nick. Martabano kicks out for Tynes, and he had it poked away and was the last to touch it as well.
Another Dolphin turnover.
Out of bounds. Cheyney basketball.
Joe right now looking through the archive history books, as we mentioned earlier on.
Well, they're telling me that three-pointers in a game is not in the record book. I am fairly certain it is.
Has to be.
Well, we're going to check right now. We have 3 minutes to find it, Nick. On the drive here, and kicking out, finding Blackman from the corner was Curtis. Rebound goes to Tynes. My eyes are darting from the monitor back to the laptop as Wiggin brings that one in and lost it on the way up. Ball just slipped out of his hand there.
And this is the time now for Cheyney. With Kone now out of the game, if they want to have an opportunity to get back in terms of rebounding numbers, this is their chance.
That's a wild shot thrown off the window, no good.
Dolphins have numbers.
Darby, splash.
A rare three-pointer by Darby. He knocks down that triple.
Well, unfortunately, it seems that our record book won't load past page 8. We're going to try and open it in a separate window here. Lake off the shot fake. We'll try it. Too strong.
Lake off the shot fake. I see what you did there.
Completely unintentional. Tynes. Splash.
Woo-hoo, he can't miss right now, Joe. Number 7.
That's another ET3, the 7th of this first half, and the Dolphins now lead it by 20.
Whatever the record is, it's in jeopardy right now.
That 3 won't go. Hutchinson thought he was fouled. Here comes Goldstein for Tynes. Too strong.
Yeah, that was a really tough one right there. Another heat check on that shot with Frazier right in front of him.
We approach the final minute of this first half. Tough floater, and a foul was called as Curtis tried to put that one up in traffic.
Let's get a second look at that 7th made 3 by Eric Tynes.
Well, if the record is indeed 8, he's 1 away from tying it. Now, our internet, the wireless internet anyway, notorious for being very poor.
More than likely it'll be a halftime thing. We'll have
I'm trying to see if I have the record book in my documents.
I remember having to do this during the baseball season last year. So sometimes you get luck with the internet. Sometimes, especially when you're here in the tank, you're a little bit troubling.
It's troubling everywhere if it's wireless.
Yeah.
And 0 for 2 trip at the line for Curtis.
Foul underneath. And the Dolphins now, Joe, will go into the double bonus with that last foul.
Foul number 2,
Well, that's 9 on Cheyney.
And Cheyney's 9th of the opening half.
So it'll be a 1-and-1.
Correction. I looked at the Dolphins number.
I've done that more times than I like to admit.
Yeah.
And when I do that, I always say the same thing. Scoreboard, it was too quick for me.
Too quick.
Too quick. If you looked up and saw 9, thinking they hadn't put it up yet, you could have gotten away with that.
Yeah.
And Wiggins' free throw is short.
Still loose, and the Dolphins get a second chance.
All right, Nick, I think I found what I'm looking for in the record book, so we're going to try and do this very quickly.
Are you able to hit control and just type in the number? Type in 3-point?
So, Nick, it is not in here. Single game
Really?
record for three-pointers made.
Last minute of play in the first half.
That is surprising, as now the Dolphins are officially in the double bonus. How is that not on the record book?
The question is, how did Stephanie find it?
Where did she find it is the question.
Now, it's not in any of them from what I was told. It's very odd.
Have to ask her, I guess, how she found it.
Well, we have the career record. We do not have the single game record. Well, we're going to have to change that in the offseason.
Yeah.
That's a lot of years we have to go through. A lot of box scores.
I remember when you and I were crunching the numbers a couple years ago for, I think that was also baseball we were looking at.
3 words. Good luck, Sam.
The 3-word saying has changed, I guess.
It has. I didn't want to say the other one on the air.
Yeah, that's fair.
Now everyone's going to wonder.
Not that it was.
Now everyone's going to wonder, because I can think of 3 words you definitely can't say on air.
Well,
the 3 I had on my mind were PG.
Yeah.
Alley-oop, Wiggin can't finish.
It's going to be really tough to top what he did earlier in this
Wow.
game, but almost ended right there on that play.
That might be the first time Wiggin didn't get high enough. Feed inside. Ultimus tied up, lost it. And did they
Didn't get the
award the
timeout.
timeout? They did not.
Jump ball.
Possession arrow favors the Wolves here.
Got a 9-second differential between game clock and shot clock.
Brandon Torres.
23 seconds to go in this first half, and immediately following final horn in this first half, our TLC Physical Therapy halftime report features our conversation with men's basketball head coach TJ Tibbs. TJ will join me on the floor in about 23.2 seconds, or maybe a bit more.
Maybe a little bit longer than that.
Maybe a bit more.
Yeah, just a bit. That's a really bad foul for the Dolphins, though, right there by Torres, because that's 2 free throws upcoming.
Wolves now in the double bonus.
At the line for Cheyney, number 1, Jason Young.
First free throw is good by Jason Young. Young 2 for 2 from the line. J.J. Chestnut back in for what will likely be the final Dolphins possession of the half.
Chestnut.
Goldstein taking his time. He's defended by Curtis.
Do we think Tynes gets the final shot?
I think there's a good chance. Well, we have an animated fan who is lending his opinion as Benedict will try, and he hits from the corner.
Benedict with another big 3-point shot will end the
boy.
first half. Oh, boy is right.
That one almost hit the shot clock. You hate to see it. But if you're a fan of CSI, you certainly appreciate this halftime score. At halftime, the Dolphins lead the Wolves 61-38. The TLC Physical Therapy halftime report featuring men's basketball head coach TJ Tibbs coming up.
All right, we're back for here for the TLC Physical Therapy Halftime Report. Joe Foreman, my broadcast partner Joe Foreman, joined on the court by CSI Dolphin men's head coach TJ Tibbs. Take it away, Joe.
All right, I'm joined on the floor by men's basketball head coach TJ Tibbs. And Coach, obviously, Eric's performance stands out in that first half, but there was a lot more to that strong first half than that. What did you like about your team's performance through the first 20 minutes?
Yeah, from Eric's perspective, it's good for him to see the ball go in, right? We know he's capable of shooting that way. And give credit to his teammates continuing to find him and everything. So we see those things in practice. He hasn't put one of those performances yet in a game, so it's nice to see him put together a half like that. I'd like to see us be better defensively. They're a really good team, a really well-coached team. They're playing a back-to-back, so it's really tough. They played a tough Lincoln team yesterday. I'd like to continue to see us move the ball, touch the paint, get on the glass. We're doing some of those things. Mitchell Wiggin had a great first half, but we just need to do a little bit more.
Well, your team knows how tough a back-to-back is. And speaking of Mitchell Wiggin, he was in the starting lineup tonight because Joey Poulin is not. The coach is wearing his number 1 jersey. You're wearing this pink hoodie. Tell us a bit more about that.
A couple of things. So this pink hoodie, I wear my pink sneakers from time to time, and breast cancer is really prevalent in my family, and it's always on my mind. This pink hoodie is actually our point guard from the women's team, Stitchy Barnes. This is her clothing line. So if you're out there, go to Instagram, @StitchedOdyssey. She's got great clothing, but the message behind it with student-athlete mental health and everything is something that I'm totally behind. So I'm just showing support. Our kids go through a lot. All student-athletes, people think that it's easy, and I'm just trying to bring some awareness to the fact that these kids work really hard and they have a lot going on. And speaking of that, we're a family here at the College of Staten Island. Joey's obviously not here. But we love him to death, and we're always thinking about him, and we just want to make sure that he knows that.
Great to hear, Coach. Powerful message. All the best to Joey Poulin. Thanks for joining us. Best of luck in the second half. Men's basketball head coach TJ Tibbs, kind enough to join us for the TLC Physical Therapy Halftime Report. Big lead for the Dolphins at the break. Second half when we come back.
We've learned a lot from him, and we've probably learned more from him than he's learned from us.
I think they're a real important part in my life. I can't describe it. It feels amazing.
Team Impact is a national nonprofit that connects kids living with serious and chronic illness with college athletic teams, forming lifelong bonds and life-changing outcomes.
Give me a break it! Break it!
Can I have a hug? What's your favorite subject?
Math.
When you spread the word about Team Impact, you have the power to change lives.
Kettle Black on Staten Island, a top 5 wing joint in America by Food and Wine magazine. Serving daily lunch and dinner at the bar or on the floor. Perfect for family and group parties with top shelf drink and delicious food. From great times with good friends, live sports and watch parties, to Staten Island's hottest nightlife. The Kettle Black features live music and DJs weekly. The Kettle Black features daily and nightly food and drink specials. The best Staten Island has to offer is at the Kettle Black. We'll see you there at the Kettle Black, located on 415 Forest Avenue, Staten Island.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There's an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
Hobra, a taco joint, Staten Island, where we're proud to have shared our family-first spirit with people from throughout New York City and the world. With indoor dining available both at the bar and on the floor. Or step outside for additional seating and an outdoor bar. Serving beer that's crisp, ice cold, and worthy of a day at the beach. Cocktails that explode with flavor. And great food made with the freshest and healthiest ingredients available. Events feature food and drink specials. Live music. And the best of Staten Island nightlife. Your CSI Student ID saves you 10% on your dine-in order at Hobra. Visit us at 412 Forest Avenue, Staten Island. And we are back from the tank, where we're about 20 seconds away from the start of the second half between the College of Staten Island and Cheyney University. And Nick, it was a huge first half for Eric Tynes specifically, but for this Dolphins team, once again, a very strong showing in the first 20 minutes of a game. We've seen this plenty this year, especially here on their home floor. This team has been really good at the tank, and if they could put together even an okay final 20 minutes, they should be able to pick up yet another win here at home.
Yeah, and at one point, it was getting a little bit worried for the Dolphins because the Wolves started to make a little bit of a comeback in that first half. But credit to the Dolphins, made some big shots. And you mentioned, Tynes, really strong first half performance from him in terms of the 3-point numbers. But the man right in front of us, Mitchell Wiggin, also with a nice, impressive first half as well.
We also made a mistake in the first half. We had to dig because it wasn't in the record books, but we gave it an old search through the archives, and it is, in fact, Blake Wilson who has the record for three-pointers made in a game at the D2 level, as the Dolphins are whistled for an illegal screen. Wilson had 9 made threes in a Dolphins win last year over Dieuville.
Foul on number 10, Asa Kone. That'll be his first of the Dolphins' first of the second half.
Also, speaking of Dieuville, there could potentially be a scheduling change regarding the Saints and Dolphins in their home games. So we'll keep an eye on that as well as that shot rattles out. And Goldstein threw it away, and a foul was called in front of the Dolphins bench. Blake helping up Blackman there, almost flipped him over.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
That wouldn't have been pleasant.
No. Lifted him with such force that he almost flipped him over on his head. 3 on the way, Hutchinson, no good off the front rim.
Well, the Dolphins with 2 turnovers to start the second half, but have not allowed any points so far to start the half as well.
It's hard to believe that the Wolves turning the ball over just twice in the first half, trailed by 23, as Wiggin thought he had that 3. It was halfway down. Now Chestnut lays it in with the left hand.
How about that by Chestnut, Joe? He got the rebound. All he did was take 1 step behind to see if anyone was there, and he made an immediate post move to get the basket.
Well, if Chestnut is defended one-on-one, he is very difficult to stop going downhill. I think really the best means of stopping him is to collapse on him as he looks to drive. But if he's one-on-one, he's probably going to score, especially against a defender who's evenly matched in terms of size. Pull-up jumper, Blackman, and he has another.
Blackman's been really good in this game, Joe, in terms of offensive numbers. He's been pretty much the entirety of this Wolves offense.
And Goldstein was fouled. That's another foul on a 3-pointer by the Wolves. Their 3rd of the game. Tynes hit all 6 of his free throws after being fouled on a couple of threes. And speaking of Blackman, who connected on that last pull-up, he now has 15. Well, Nick, did you hear it? Well, everyone else did.
Do I want to speculate?
You know, Aaron Goldstein is at the line, and yeah, it happened again.
Don't, Tom. No.
It did. You didn't notice the deafening silence that fell over the gym?
I didn't.
I'm not sure how clearly it comes through the headset, but for you and I being in the building, it is very apparent.
He would have gotten away with it from me because I didn't pick it up.
I can tell you, everyone else noticed.
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
Goldstein makes it a 26-point game, and this one getting away from Cheyney very quickly, under 2 minutes into the second half. And that will certainly help get them back on track as Hutchinson goes right at Tynes and banks it in.
A tough bucket by Hutchinson right there. Gets the and 1 to follow. Been a story of this game pretty much for the Wolves in this one, Joe. A lot of tough baskets. Well, it's been pretty good Dolphin defense.
Dolphins have certainly made things very difficult.
Didn't realize I double-clicked on that camera.
Free throw good by Hutchinson. The Wolves now 11 of 16 from the line. The Dolphins 14 of 17 from the stripe. And I said it before, Nick, just 2 turnovers for the Wolves, but the Dolphins defense once again holding an opponent under 40% shooting. The Wolves at 38 right now, and they're just 14% from downtown as Chestnut's too long on the 3. Lake has the rebound. Three on the way, in and out.
Second chance upcoming for the Wolves as it was last touched by Tynes.
Well, you highlighted earlier in the game, Nick, that Cheyney has come in struggling on the glass. Rebounding favors the Dolphins 33-17. Corner 3, and out of bounds is called. Blackman stepped on the sideline.
Yeah, it's just been a consistent problem for Cheyney so far in the year, and it continues again here tonight, and we talked about it. The Dolphins coming off a game where they out-rebounded their opponent by 20. You knew it was going to be, no pun intended, but it was going to be a tall task.
Chestnut is fouled. That came before the shot, if he even got an attempt off there.
Foul on 0, Joshua Blackman. That'll be his second.
That's Blackman's second.
Of the second half.
6 Wolves now have 2 fouls each. Chestnut and Martabano each have 3. JJ drops it off for Kone, one-on-one, and Kone will head back to the line. Free throws 5 and 6 for Asa Kone coming up.
And we forgot to mention as well, it's a good sight to see him back out on the court after that injury scare that he had in the first half. He'll now go to the free throw line for 2.
And Kone's free throw is good.
Checking in for Cheyney, number 7, Eaton Smith, and number 12, Amari Curtis.
And Kone is 2 for 2 from the line.
Been a nice night so far at the free throw line for Kone in this game.
Kone 4 of 6 with that pair of makes. Really is hard to believe. This was a 12-point game late in the first half as Blackman travels. But it just goes to show you how quickly this Dolphins team can put points up on the board. They had 17 in under 5 minutes in the first half. Goldstein left open, and he rattles in the 3.
I mean, that's just one of the easiest threes Goldstein's going to have, Joe. They left them wide open at the corner.
We've seen Goldstein hit a lot of threes. I cannot remember the last time he found himself wide open in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see it in a second on the replay. It was immediate just how quickly the Dolphins went up the court with that play.
There's a nice move to get inside, and getting the roll was Eaton Smith.
Nice move on the inside by Smith, and you mentioned it, the finger roll falling his way.
Kone down on the floor for a moment. Now Goldstein throws one up, and I think Kone flipped it off the front of the rim. Not sure he ever really possessed it as the Wolves turn it over. Yeah. Things have gotten a bit sloppy. For much of the first half, the issue was just missing shots. As Goldstein's up there again, so is Kone. Count it, and the foul.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about, Joe. We show a replay of that play where they caught the Wolves sleeping, and they caught not only the Wolves sleeping, but they caught me sleeping as well at the commentary desk. They get the M1.
Foul number 7, Eaton Smith. That'll be his 3rd.
Just look how quickly they get up the court. Immediate inbound pass, and a great play by Goldstein gets Kone on that alley-oop for the M1.
And he converts the three-point play.
Correction, basketball scored by number 10, Asa Kone. Number 10, Asa Kone.
On the drive, Frazier was...
Tynes blocked it. And
he was met by multiple Dolphins.
Should be the media timeout, too.
We're going to head to a media timeout with 15:59 to go in the second half. Our score, Dolphins 74 and the Wolves 45. $15:59 to go in the second half, and the Dolphins have extended their lead to 29 points. Hutchinson, tough fall away attempt off the window, no good. Here comes Benedict.
He pretty much just threw that one up as Cheyney once again down.
Curious how long the Dolphins will keep him in the game, as once again the Wolves turn it over. And
yeah, that one he got tripped up on, and thankfully again he's back up. But even though the Dolphins turned it over, they forced an immediate turnover after a bad pass right there. So, bit of a sloppy play right there on both ends.
Goldstein with it. Dolphins leading 74-45. And a lot of what we touched on during the pregame, Nick, is Goldstein will knock down a three. A lot of what we touched on, the Dolphins have continued to do those things well.
You know, we say good as gold for those 3 points, but those points that we brought up have been also good as gold, right? The Dolphins so far in this game. It's just been another strong, impressive performance.
There's a nice finish inside along the baseline by Emmanuel Carson. Well, it looked like this game might get away from Cheyney in the first half, and to their credit, they battled back, put together a 10-0 run. They had it to within 12. Watch out.
Got it right back, as he said.
Great job, Aaron.
I trusted him.
He prevented what would have been bad news for my monitor and my laptop as Torres knocks down the jumper.
Brandon Torres.
The lead is 32 for the Dolphins now. Curtis. Good defense there by Torres.
I got it.
Here they come, Nick. A bit wide, thankfully.
Cheyney, number 22, Gabriel Holtz, and checking in for the Dolphins, number 4, Chase Martabano.
Chase Martabano in for the Dolphins, along with Eric Tynes. Looks like Leighton Woods is going to check in as well.
Number 2, Leighton Woods.
Torres. Out to Benedict. Tied up.
Got some oohs and ahs from that move.
That might have been
we won't talk about
the Cheyney contingent petitioning
I don't
for
know
a whistle.
I don't know what you're talking about, Joe.
You're not the only one, apparently. Tough shot there by Curtis, but he draws the foul.
Looks pretty clean to me. Referees didn't see anything wrong with it either.
Yeah, this is one of those games where it's going to have to be pretty blatant.
Yeah.
At the line for Cheyney will be number 12, Amari Curtis.
So Curtis will head to the line for a pair.
Checking in for the Dolphins, number 3,
JJ Chestnut.
JJ Chestnut.
Will check in as well after that made free throw. And the second attempt is good. Chestnut couldn't finish. Wolves have numbers. Frazier, tough shot, and another foul called.
Dolphins now a foul away from putting the Wolves in the bonus. See what you did there that time, Joe. I waited just to make sure. Just to make sure.
Well, that's a credit to our great clock and scoreboard operators, led by Stephanie, who we mentioned earlier. They are so quick that sometimes we get fooled. Well, how about that glare from the laptop across the way, Nick? Look at that. Speaking of our great scores table.
Oh, yeah.
That cover might have to be changed.
That could be a hazard.
We need Pat to get a shot of that. It's distracting. Fortunately, it's not in the line of sight of the free throw shooter.
Yeah. That's when it becomes a little problem.
Yeah, press row at the end of the court. All of their laptop cases are just like that one. This is Woods off the feed from Torres, but he had it knocked away. Curtis is rejected by Kone. The effort for the Dolphins has not slowed down, even with the large lead. And they will keep possession here with 13:04 to go.
Checking in for Cheyney, number 10.
Yeah, there's just no stop in this Dolphins defense. You'll see right here, Kone just getting a little bit of a piece on that one for the block.
And immediately a whistle comes on the inbounds pass.
Foul on number 12, Amari Curtis. That'll be his first and Cheyney's 5th of the second half.
Cheyney now with 5 team fouls, the Dolphins with 6. Inbound goes to Torres. 15 to shoot. Chestnut with it well beyond the arc. He will use the Kone screen. Benedict. Pull-up jumper. Splash.
Number 22, Andrew Benedict.
Benedict on the night with 7 points now. He's 3 for 6 from the field. And Woods is able to swat that away on the attempt by Carson. And we've seen the Dolphins substitute Woods in late in the half. And that would lead me to believe that they view him highly as a defensive presence out there.
Well, I think also, when you have a lead like this, you want to get a little bit more playing time for some of these players that eventually down the line, we saw our last game against Mercy too, the subbing in and out of certain players and giving other players more opportunities. And this is another chance for these guys right here, because as we get closer to, the conference tournament, potential NCAA bid, if they want to get that far, they have to have these players eventually make some big plays throughout the entire year.
Just over 12 minutes to go. The Dolphin lead is 30. Torres off the crossover is stripped. And Cheyney able to secure it. Good effort there in the corner by Carson. Curtis lost the handle, was doubled, still has it. Ultimus, too long from 3. And how about that rebound by Benedict?
I was just about to say the same thing. So aggressive, but you have to love the aggressiveness that he does to grab those rebounds.
He really makes every rebound look like he won a war. Really does. Ultimus picks up the personal, and that will send us to a media timeout. 11:41 to go. Dolphins lead by 30. J.J. Chestnut to the line for the Dolphins with 11:41 remaining. Chestnut in this game, just a couple of points, 1 of 6. 3 rebounds, 4 assists. Even when he's having an off night shooting like he has in this game, it just seems like that when the Dolphins have needed him to hit the big shot, he's come through.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you love to have out of a player. When even though it's a cold night for you sometimes, you're still able to make big plays for your team. And speaking of big plays, another nice defensive play for the Dolphins.
Benedict with the block.
Look out.
And that is a nasty fall, but he says he's good.
Yeah, Benedict had that little bit of a cut our last home game. Thankfully, he gets up on that play.
We thought we might lose out on our chance to speak to him during the postgame.
Didn't want to keep him too long. Wanted to make sure he got to the trainer's room afterwards to make sure everything was good.
He had a stop at the trainer before he joined us, probably one more after. This is Torres. Out to Chestnut. Now Benedict for 3. Splash.
Benedict just, as I mentioned last game, Joe, he's just really been improving each and every single game we've been watching him play these last couple weeks, and that's really something encouraging for this Dolphins team.
Doesn't it feel like we're seeing his growth right before our eyes, especially over the last couple? When you have the results on the stat sheet, as Eaton Smith knocked down that jumper, but when you have the results in the stat sheet, it's easy to say, look at the improvement. But it has been a very quick rise these last couple of games. You've seen his presence all over the box score and all over the result in both games.
How about that last sequence right there for the Dolphins? Chestnut going coast to coast on that last play.
We've seen that a lot, whether it's a long pass up the floor into a 3 or a coast-to-coast finish. The Dolphins have really made the Wolves defend the full length of the court from the moment the ball is inbounded, as we get one more look at Chestnut to Benedict for 3.
Fortunately, AB3 really doesn't roll off the tongue like ET3, but still nonetheless.
We have a lot of them. We have a lot of them. As I always say, Nick, there's no bad time for a rhyme.
Yeah.
Somebody else had to have come up with that first. I came up with it by accident. Free throw no good on the front end of the 1-and-1. There it is again, coast to coast. This time JJ can't finish as Darby was stripped. A lot of aspiring coaches in the crowd tonight, Nick.
Chance to stop the ball.
Blackman up top, Hutchinson. Way too strong. Ultimus with the rebound, almost got that wild shot to go.
How many circus shots did we see last game?
He just threw that one at the basket as Torres finishes. Count the basket and 1.
How about Torres on that play, Joe? Nice and 1. As soon as he got the ball, he knew he was going right towards the rim. He got the contact with it.
That'll be his 4th and Cheyney's 7th of the second half. At the line for the Dolphins, number 15, Brandon Torres.
And that will be Dolphins ball.
You mean Wolves ball?
Correct. Dolphins bench was pretty fired up.
Yeah, they were waiting for the call, but it didn't go in their favor.
It did not. I can't blame the scoreboard operators for being too good on that one. As the pull-up jumper goes down for Frazier.
I promise I won't say a Clyde Frazier reference this time around.
Well, at least we're not getting a Walt Frazier over PA.
Oh, man, that'd be bad.
That'd be tough.
That'd be really bad.
Torres to the basket, lost it. And I think they called a foul on the way in. And they did.
They did.
Foul number 20, Clyde Frazier. That'll be his 1st and Cheyney's 8th of the second half.
Now that we said Clyde Frazier, I was trying to think of some of his famous sayings that we usually, I think a couple times here on broadcast we've brought up before, but I can't think of one right now.
Well, wearing Stitchy Barnes clothing line, TJ was styling and profiling.
There you go. See, I wanted to say that, but I didn't know if that was another person that we know's reference instead of his. Wrestling.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's still canceled?
No.
Oh, okay.
Was he, though?
He was at one point, for sure. I mean, if cancellation existed decades ago,
well,
I don't think he makes
that.
it.
That's true. That's fair.
Runner is no good. Young went up with that last attempt. Now Torres lost it, and he was fouled. So the fouls piling up as the Dolphins' lead begins to climb close to 40.
Foul number 20.
And as we mentioned earlier, Nick, the game at Stack will be resumed on Wednesday night. And I think going into a game that will tell you a lot about this team, this is the kind of win you'd like to have entering a big-time conference matchup. You have to feel good about how you've played in this game, taking care of business on your home floor.
And I think, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Joe. Dolphins, obviously, right now at 92 points, now making 93. Closing in on 100 in this game. I believe only one other time this season they've scored 100. If I'm not mistaken.
That is the beauty of a well-organized, updated website. The Dolphins have not scored 100 points in a game this year.
I know what I'm thinking of now that I said that. I'm thinking it bad when we said last game, we were talking about the matchup with Mercy last year. They scored 106. So I got that game mixed up from last season to this season.
Well, I mentioned the scheduling. The Dolphins, had they not had the makeup on Wednesday, would have had just one conference game between December 6th and January 9th as of now. I was told that there could be some shuffling around, but for now, they play Stack on Wednesday, UDC on Saturday, and are at Deauville on January 9th. Between the game against UDC and that Deauville game, they have 4 non-conference games against Wilmington, Holy Family, Franklin Pierce, and Post. And Nick, you're going to have your work cut out for you during the game against Franklin Pierce. Play-by-play, engineer, and Joe Foreman on remote color from Orlando, Florida.
It's not that we haven't done before.
Well, I'm going to have to make sure. When's our last game here? Is tonight our last game here before that day, the 30th?
I don't think so.
Do we have a women's game before then?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we have a women's game before that.
Okay. About to say, that's a long layoff. 15 to shoot. Blackman flips it up. And
wow.
In! Count the basket and one.
Blackman just continues to make some tough baskets in this game. How about that? That finish right there.
Blackman now with 17, and his performance should not be lost in a tough night for his team overall. All right, Nick, we're back here for women's basketball on December 17th. So on the 17th, I'm going to have to get you all set up for that game that I won't be here for because we need to also get me the feed. And I'll show you how to do that. Martabano off glass and in.
Number 4, Chase Martabano.
And, despite the lead, the Dolphins just keep that up-tempo pace going as Martabano goes quickly to the basket, gets the lay-in.
Well, it was a huge first half for Eric Tynes, but despite how well he played and the high volume of shots he took, nearly every Dolphin who has checked in has scored. Wood's the only Dolphin without points, and that could change if he gets back into the game late. Torres out to Tynes. Off the back rim, rebounded by Wiggin. Martabano had it knocked away, and he was fouled.
He'll go
That's
to the
10.
free throw line.
Yep, that's 10.
Foul on number 20, Clyde Frazier. That'll be his third and Cheyney's 10th of the second half. At the line for the Dolphins, number 4, Chase Martabano.
Martabano to the line for 2 shots here with the Dolphins in the bonus. Did look to pass out of it, but that won't matter with 10 team fouls as he hits the first. Martabano goes 2 for 2. Dolphins lead by 36 with 8 minutes to go. Next stoppage will bring us to immediate timeout. Hutchinson on the step back, buries the 3.
3-point shot by number 2, S.J. Hutchinson.
Hutchinson with another nice shot right there. I told you earlier on, one of the top leading scorers of this Wolves team.
Entry pass, Darby out to Torres. Torres draws the blocking foul.
I'll start to pile up.
That's 3 on Blackman, who takes a lap.
He took a full lap.
This will be a media
And with that, we head to immediate timeout. 7:34 to go. Dolphins lead it 97-64. .34 to go from the tank. The Dolphins lead at 97-64. Had my mic a little further away, Nick.
I thought something was up. So I didn't change our levels during that time.
I heard it in my headset that I was coming through a bit lower.
Okay. I thought I was going crazy for a second.
Torres short on the first free throw.
There really is a lot of coaching coming from the stands.
Yeah, quite a bit. Quite a bit. We pick up everything over here. We're right in the middle of all the action.
Yeah, we are.
We're between the majority of the spectators and the court. Speakers here louder than any collegiate facility I've ever attended a game in, as Lake is able to hang and hit. He got off to a really nice start in this game. Hasn't been featured as much since the opening minutes. He's now 5 of 11 with 12 points. Torres was trapped in the corner, finds Wiggin, and his fadeaway is good.
Triple digits for the Dolphins with that last made basket by Wiggin.
Wiggin now with 16. That's his first basket of the second half.
I'm trying to remember the last time the Dolphins scored 100 here at the tank. Yeah, that's what I'm trying. I have to wonder.
I don't know if I can pull that one off the top of my head.
Yeah, it would take a couple minutes searching.
I've said it a long time, Nick. I've always surprised myself with how good my recollection is for games from, any year, any time. That's just about gone now. 10 years worth of games. I don't quite have it anymore. As Torres banks in that last one.
Torres made a nice move to the basket right there on that last play.
I would suppose, I don't know this for sure, I would suppose the last time the Dolphins scored 100 here in the tank was the game where Wilson broke the single-game three-point record. Let's see if I'm right.
It's possible.
Well, we know they haven't scored 100 this year. Let's go back to last year. Let's see if I'm right.
Checking in for the Dolphins, number 22, Andrew Benedict.
All right.
Do you remember what game that was, is the question?
Well, we're going to find it.
Okay.
Nick, they scored 61 in that game. 61. That shows you how bad my memory is. And they had one player with 9 threes. That basket is good for Hutchinson and one. Well, this is women's basketball, Nick. That would explain that. I was about to say.
Well,
I was about to say that is certainly not correct. All right, let's try that again.
Take two. No one heard that.
I was about to say they scored 96 in that game, so they
Okay.
didn't quite make 100. I was like, I know my recollection's not that bad. They scored 99 at Wilmington, 106 at Mercy. '96 at Malloy as Torres has the 3 rattle out. They didn't really come that close to 100 in any game here at home outside of that Duville game. 3 on the way for Lake off the back rim. And Benedict said, give me that rebound.
You know what it started to remind me of, and I'll make the point in a second.
Lake is fouled.
The way he goes up aggressively for a rebound, you and I have seen this before from a certain NBA player on our favorite team, Carmelo Anthony. The way he goes up and
He
just
gives it
aggressively
the elbow swing.
Right. Now, to his credit, he doesn't say what Carmelo says when he goes up for the rebound. Let's keep it that way. But
did he used to scream mine?
Oh, no. He would scream expletives.
Oh, expletives.
Expletives.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like I said, let's just keep it that way.
This is a PG broadcast.
Yeah, I didn't say anything.
One might argue it's a G broadcast.
No, there's no way.
Okay, that's true.
Should
we be, though?
The amount of times someone's been thrown out under a bus on these broadcasts over
Wow.
the years, it has to be PG at least.
Well, speaking of roadkill.
Are we going to really talk about this again?
Woods. Bit too strong from the corner.
Keep this possession up.
Well, if that had gone down, every Dolphin would have been on the board.
How about that possession?
Darby puts it in. Well, speaking
No,
of
you're good.
roadkill,
You're good.
We won't go into the backstory about the roadkill moniker for our statistician, Louis Matrone.
Yeah, you're good.
However, I will say that I doubled his pest control today. That three-pointer short off the front rim by Blackman. But this is, something that...
How about that finish by Darby?
I don't take any pride in saying, but we had a bit of a rodent problem today. And the traps that stick? Well, I had a cable that happened to be over the sticky trap.
Oh.
And in my office area, the cable was trapped underneath a dead mouse.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was tasked with pest control.
Okay.
And was able to remove the fallen rodent from the facility. I came in. This was 5 minutes after I walked in.
I was going to segue with, you saw one rat in Joe Calabrese today, seeing another rat. He was at Disney World.
He spent the day at Disney World?
He was at at least from what I saw in his story. He was at Disney at one point.
Winter meetings are at Disney World?
Not that I know of, but he was at Disney at one point.
Well, he was supposed to work today, so we're going to have a word with him.
He's, of course, busy.
His flight was canceled last night.
Yeah.
I came back last night as well. Woods rattles it in. And every Dolphin that has entered this game has now scored.
Second straight game that's happened, Joe.
On the wing, that is Young for 3.
A lot of three-pointers in this game tonight.
Well, the good news for the Dolphins is that most of them have belonged to CSI. 14 of the 18. Bounce pass for Darby. He's fouled.
That'll bring us to our last media timeout.
Final media timeout of the night. Dolphins with a big lead, 109-74, 3:57 remaining.
the line for the Dolphins, number 14, Elijah Darby.
Elijah Darby to the line for the Dolphins with 3:57 remaining. And his first free throw is short. And Darby goes 1 of 2 from the line. For the Dolphins on the night, 26 of 33 from the line. He'll take that.
Now, here's an interesting question I have for you, Joe. Since they moved to the D2 level, what's the most points they've scored in a single game?
It's a good thing we had the record book open. Let's see if we can find it.
Meanwhile, Martabano has fouled out of this game, so Wigan will step back in.
For Cheyney, number 5, Emmanuel Carson.
Nope. First free throw, no good. Almost there, Nick. That's individual. All right. In the D2 era, Dolphins have scored 102 against Duville. That was on February 11th of 2024. In 2019, they played Curry in the Tournament of Heroes. I believe that was Curry College. Don't quote me on that. But they played Curry in the Tournament of Heroes. I remember that game. It was probably one of the best men's basketball games I've been in attendance for. I did not call that game. But they scored 103 in that game, and then they scored 106 against Mercy last year. Those are the 3 times they've scored over 100. So the Dolphins have set a Division II record for most points in a single game today, and they still have over 3 minutes remaining.
And I would imagine that we'll talk to Eric Tynes as well in
Sure
our
will.
post-game interview.
Sure will. There's an air ball from the corner by Altimus, rebounded by Woods. Woods on the drive. With the left, draws the foul. And we'll head to the line for 2 shots.
Foul on number 22, Gabriel Altimus. That'll be his 4th.
That's the 4th foul on Altimus.
The Dolphins, number 2, Leighton Woods.
First free throw by Woods is good.
Hoping we don't get that text from the other side.
Asking?
Yeah, they better not. I don't think there's.
I don't quite have firing power at this point, but I definitely have some influence.
Because that would be bad.
I'm quite okay with that, but I might have to exercise the sway that I have if I'm asked that question. Have you ever heard it said there's no such thing as a bad question as Carson knocks down the floater?
I have heard that.
Well, I disagree. I disagree with that sentiment. There is certainly such thing as a bad question. Benedict gets inside and banks it in.
Andrew Benedict.
Nice move by Benedict.
Really nice move there by Benedict. That shot no good, rebounded by Darby. And Darby lost it. Count that basket, and 1 for Young. And I am surprised he did not get whistled for a technical foul there.
That was, I mean, I don't want to be an aspiring official, but.
He got right in Darby's face there.
Literally did.
Credit to Darby for not reacting in what is a 35-point game.
Yeah.
And Young's free throw is good. Just over 2:20 to go. The Dolphins lead at 114-80. Coming up immediately following the final buzzer, our TLC Physical Therapy post-game report with player of the game, Eric Tynes. As Brandon Torres knocks down a jumper.
Brandon Torres.
Torres having himself a nice scoring night.
Altimus. Put too much on that one. Here comes Wigan, up the floor, Torres. He looks to drive, draws the foul, and converts inside.
Another and 1 for Torres tonight. They're really impressive here in the second half.
22, Gabriel Altimus.
It has been a really impressive night for this Dolphins squad. From top to bottom, everyone who's gotten out there has scored, and there have been a lot of impressive finishes. Torres now has 14 points. Torres a bit strong on the free throw. And my apologies for not picking it up earlier. Ultimus just fouled out, but on the Dolphins side, Martabano did foul out as well. He picked up his 5th.
That one out of bounds.
Dolphins will get it back.
A little bit of a silence there for a couple seconds.
It got quiet
Just
in here. I was following with the surroundings. 90 seconds to go. Woods. Lost it on the crossover. Now Wiggett.
Dolphins a basket away from 120.
Have I ever seen the Dolphins score 120? We have to go to the all-time record book,
Yeah,
Nick, because we are on all-time record watch now. I would suspect the Dolphins have scored 120 in a game before. Has to have happened.
Number 35, Mitchell Wiggett.
It'd be nice if I could get the record book to open.
That would help.
I think we've got it here. Let's take a look. Oh, can't preview file. Doesn't help me, does it, Nick?
At 119 now as Wiggin goes 1 for 2 from the free throw line.
So I have the original document. It's on your computer. Try and download it here. Tough shot again. We've seen Carson go up with a couple of those.
Another rebound for Benedict.
He might have a double-double. I don't know if he has
yeah.
the 10 points. He has 12, and that rebound was his 10th. So Andrew Benedict has a double-double for the second straight game. And you look down this stat line, Nick. Wiggin with a double-double, Benedict with a double-double. Tynes scored 27, Wiggin 17, Darby 12, Torres 14, Benedict 12, Kone 13.
You might just have to have the entire team come up for the
I'm going to be surrounded.
Yeah. I mean, this has just been...
I'm going to be the shortest guy in the frame. It doesn't happen too often.
I mean, it's just really tough to nitpick as, you know, one statistical category from one player. It's just been an all-around great performance from this team tonight.
Open jumper there is good for Frazier. And TJ Tibbs wanted his team to play through defensively. He did not like that lack of shot contest there. Benedict goes to work and knocks down another. Made it look easy.
What did I say last game about Steph Curry? Made it Stefferless on that shot.
Stefferless, he says. All right, team single game records on page 15 as a foul is called.
That foul will help you.
That will give me the time. There's a lot of pages in here, Nick. All right.
It's now or never.
The Dolphins came awfully close to a program record, Nick.
What's the number?
127.
Wow.
Cheyney, number 20, Clyde Frazier.
This, if the Dolphins do not score again, will be the second highest point total in program history. I'd suspect they don't score again. So 123 would be the second highest point total in a men's basketball game.
Yeah, and I get the sense that that's probably where it's going to stay at.
Yeah. They are not going to shoot again. I'd be
stunned.
Flabbergasted, Nick.
I think
how's that for a big one?
I think TJ would be flabbergasted with you.
He might be. You're right. He might be. All right. Dolphins have the chance to dribble it out here, and I would suspect they do.
Yeah.
Now, I know one guy out there who might be willing to try for the 4-point play. And he is going to be our TLC physical therapy player of the game. Eric Tynes going to join us shortly. The Dolphins win big. Our final score, Staten Island 123, Cheyney 83. The Dolphins remain unbeaten at home ahead of a matchup on the road at Stack this Wednesday. Turns out that with the rescheduling of that game, I will be there, audio only. You can check out full video of the game on Flow College. Stack will have that broadcast. Maybe they even invite me to join the call, Nick. You never know. But I'll be there nonetheless. Be sure to catch that game. And before you do, stay with us for a few short minutes. Eric Tynes joins us for the TLC Physical Therapy post-game report.
All right, we are back from the tank where we are about to be joined by our TLC Physical Therapy player of the game, Eric Tynes. He's joined on the court by my broadcast partner, Joe Foreman.
And we are here with our TLC Physical Therapy player of the game, Eric Tynes. Eric, don't know if you guys knew, second highest scoring output in program history tonight. You were a big part of that. What clicked for this team offensively?
First and foremost, I want to shout out my teammates right here. They got me the ball, My teammates, they got me the ball. They played well, All right, I got it. Yes! Yeah. Right here. Shout out to these guys. All right. On a more important note, shout out to my teammate Joey Pullen doing something at home right now. Just want to say we miss you on and off the court, bro. And, I love you. Everybody loves you. And you mean the world to us. So this is for you. This women's for you. This game is for you. So I had to shout you out first.
A great showing for Joe back at home. And this team has been really good here on their home floor. How much does it mean to remain unbeaten here at home with a big conference matchup looming later in the week?
It means a lot. We come to the tank. The tank is a special place. Tank is definitely a special place. We got great fans. So we definitely want to put on a show every time and just play our hardest. So, conference coming up, 2 big conference games. Definitely want to play well. Definitely want to get 2 wins and take care of business.
All right, Eric, congratulations on the win. Great showing for you and the team. Eric Tynes, our TLC Physical Therapy player of the game. Nick, back over to you.
All right, Joe, thank you. And thank you to Eric Tynes, our TLC Physical Therapy player of the game. And in a few moments, Joe will rejoin me on the broadcast. And what a great performance for this Dolphins team. 123-83, the final here tonight. Dolphins now improving to 6-3 on the season. And Joe, a really special moment. We talked about it earlier with TJ Tibbs as well as with Eric Tynes. The Dolphins doing this for their teammate Joey Pullen on a very emotional night, and they gave him a really strong performance here with this 123-83 performance.
No question about it, Nick. Obviously a lot of meaning behind this game for the team. You saw the assistant coaches wearing Joey Pullen's number 1. We wish him all the best with whatever's going on with him over at home. But, Nick, the Dolphins on the court tonight took care of business, and here at the tank, this team has been really, really good. And I said it earlier because with Stack looming, this is a game you felt like you should win, especially here at home. they not only won it, they won it decisively by 40 points, and I don't think you can ask for a much better effort ahead of what is undoubtedly a big conference game. It's early in the conference schedule, but anytime you collide with the Spartans, a team that we've seen here at the Tank already this year, it's a big matchup, and that's no different with the game coming up on Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it earlier in the game, pregame, that these are the games you want to get, the win and make sure you get the opportunity to go into your next couple conference games with a nice little side of momentum. And I always like to talk about momentum, and getting this is huge for this team. It builds the morale boost, of course. And, we talked about it at the end of that game. It's really tough to nitpick one statistical category that this Dolphins team did not do well in this game tonight. A lot of high-scoring numbers from a lot of different players. Every single Dolphin that checked in tonight was able to get a bucket in this game. For the second straight game, they do that, Joe, and that's what's really been impressive about this team. From top to bottom, as I mentioned earlier, they're doing it, and they're all contributing at a very high level. The question is going to be now, can they somehow, it's going to be really tough to duplicate what they did tonight, but can they keep this going on with conference play looming once again?
We will find out in approximately 48 hours as the Dolphins visit Stack. I will be there on the audio call Wednesday night. Dolphins look to keep the winning ways going. They remain unbeaten here at home and win big tonight, 123-83. Our next broadcast here on Sportsnet doesn't come for quite some time. As we mentioned a bit earlier, Nick, our next call together, I believe, is women's basketball on the 17th.
I believe you're correct.
I will be at UDC before that. I will be at Stack on Wednesday doing the game on YouTube audio only, so you can check that out over on the CSI Sportsnet YouTube page. But until next time, everyone, thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of your Monday night.